Right, I'm gonna be going over the two trades that I took on Thursday. I couldn't record because I was pretty frustrated. Uh, Both of the trades were supposed to stop me out, and which is why I wasn't in the mood, so I couldn't really record the video. Anyways, now it's been like a few days, and I'm gonna be going over this trade. Watched another psychology video of TJR in one of his videos, so I'm gonna be breaking down the key lessons that I learned from that, and also why taking trades on the lagging index is a horrible idea, and the steps that I took to not make these mistakes again. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. I basically was bearish on the daily because I wanted this gap to get filled, and so my bias was right on the day, but I still lost twice. Technically lost twice. One trade I hit stop loss, and the other one I closed the break even because I realized that this was a wrong trade. So I wanted this low to basically get taken out, and it did happen on ES. Right here we swept this low, but we did on Nasdaq, and this is the one that I decided to trade. We had these two gaps. We came into equilibrium of this move down, and I wanted shorts off that. The 4 at the time was bearish, and we were really close to the 4-hour gap, and because of that I got stopped out, and then I entered again, and then we respected the 1-hour gap, which shouldn't be respected because I was in shorts. We had this 1-hour gap which we respected, and then I closed the trade up like small profit right here because of that. And then for the first trade I put my stop loss like right here. Stop loss right here, we got a setup, but we were really close to this liquidity, and this is also a 4-hour gap which we filled. So I was bearish on the daily. The 4-hour was still bearish at the time, and we swept higher for liquidity. I could have noticed that we had one more drawn liquidity right here, and also a 4-hour gap really close. So I could have not taken that trade. Before that, we didn't have any S&P divergences, so that's not really great to enter because of that. So I entered right here, and then I closed right here. I don't know why, maybe because I didn't have the proper risk, and here I got stopped out, and then here was the second setup that happened, and it closed it right here. So in total there were 3 transactions, and this equals to 1.1%. So it's not that bad, but I shouldn't have taken these trades. So I made these mistakes because I didn't have specific rules. So for example, I didn't have a rule in my head, but I shouldn't even have rules in my head. I should have written them down. So the first rule that I broke is I took it on the lagging index. So it's the weakest index, and we can take out my daily bias on one index, but the other one just reverses, which is exactly what happened. We didn't have an S&P divergence, so I didn't know which index was lagging or leading. Most of the times Nasdaq was leading to the downside, but this time it didn't happen. So I could have waited for an S&P divergence, some kind of S&P divergence before entering, and I took the trades. It didn't really impact my emotions. These two setups were valid, except that we didn't have an S&P divergence, and it was a lagging index. Because most of the times I don't have more than one setup in one day. And I don't even have a setup every day. After that, I decided to watch a psychology video. I think it's like 5 hour video training for beginners. But I only watched the end where he talked about psychology. And what I learned, to become profitable, first I need to detach myself from the profits, which I did by enforcing the mental rules. For example, not checking the monthly P&L or logging out of my broker account to not see the bloating P&L. And actually, because of that, I didn't feel a lot of emotions while trading. And the second part about it is I had to have a clear strategy and risk management rules. And I didn't have that. So these are the 3 things that were missing. I should only take it on the leading index. There wasn't an S&P divergence, and I took 2 trades. So I wrote extra rules right here, just like I did with my mental rules. So I won't make these mistakes again. And that I follow all my rules. Yeah, and now I fixed that I have a clear strategy and risk management rules. So now the only thing that's stopping me from becoming profitable is actually following my rules. Anyways, so these are the 3 things that I learned from that video. Now I'm detaching myself from the profits and money to minimize my emotions. And I've done that, and it is going to be harder on live. But first I have to be profitable on demo. Anyways, now in the recent months, I've refined my strategy and fixed some of the trading errors that I've made. And also, even just now from the last trade, I've set clear risk management and strategy rules for me to follow. And the only thing that I need to do is follow the strategy that works, and I've seen it work. So that's the only thing, which is discipline. So next time, I have to not remove these rules, even if they block a little bit of the screen, because it's important for me to remind myself to follow my rules. And I'm only going to take 1 trade a day instead of 2, and only take it on the leading index. So you can avoid all the mistakes that I made in these trades by first have clear rules. Instead of writing, I'm going to be risking 1 to 3% per trade, is going to be really specific, like only 1.5%, which is the best for me. It could be different for everyone. Or like instead of I can take 1 to 2 trades a day, only specifically like I can only take 1 trade a day. And also I only have to take it on the leading index. And if there isn't an S&P divergence, then I'm not supposed to take it. So I don't have to guess mid-trade, or if I don't know what I'm going to do, then I'm probably going to make the decision on emotions instead of the rules, which I don't have. Also, I didn't learn much anything else from that psychology video, because I feel like I already know enough about trading. So I feel like I'm really close to being profitable on demo. All I have to do is just follow them, which is probably not easy. I'm gonna end the video here. I didn't want to make this because I don't like posting my losses on social media, but this was a good learning opportunity, and I hope you learn from it as well. And anyways, I'm gonna end the video here, and I'll see you guys next week in the trade recap. Bye.